Ryan, we got some interesting stuff that happened this week and some news and, Twitter beef for y'all as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. We got some news. I don't remember if we talked about this, but WWE and TNA announced a deal, I believe. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh man, my thoughts are really pretty much good. I mean, this is basically just a formality of this partnership that's kind of been somewhat brewing these past couple of years. We saw Mickie James a couple of years ago, even when Vince was in charge, come in as the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion. Saw Jordan Grace last year come in. We've seen a lot of it this year, especially with NXT. All good thoughts from me at least.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. It's hard to speak. Didn't you have the idea though of like a WWE light? Did you mention me something about that?
Yeah. So a lot of like reports that I've heard, at least from like, I don't know if it was Fightful or Meltzer, it was one of the two. I know that for a fact. Said that a lot of their WWE sources were basically confirming more or less that WWE wants this deal with TNA to basically have TNA turn into WWE Light, so that when WWE eventually completely goes off of the network and goes onto Netflix permanently with both weekly shows, that TNA can fill their time slots on USA, and AEW doesn't even have a chance to fill those time slots, is essentially what they're wanting.
I got that. It's interesting. I like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some other news. We got Alexa Bliss, who is set to join the Wyatt Six, but plans were supposedly canceled, according to Wrestling World CC on X and Instagram. Basically, just some details about Bliss's return was supposedly supposed to be on the 13th of that 13th Monday Night Raw, I believe it was 2 weeks ago. She was said to be reintroduced as part of the Wyatt Six, but we don't know about a Royal Rumble appearance. It's looking unlikely, and the Wyatt Six and Alexa Bliss will be kept apart for any future plans as we speak. So,
but I think that's what we, at least that's what I know I would have preferred. I don't know how you would have felt about her being completely kept away from the Wyatt Six.
I like any which way you could spin it, honestly. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to keep her in a feud, go ahead. You want to put her in it, go ahead. You want to keep them completely separate, go ahead. Dude.
They also aren't really doing anything right now, which is like, I understand the whole concept of less is more, and I agree with it, but right now they're not doing literally anything.
We'll get to that when we get to SmackDown. We'll get to that when we get to SmackDown.
Okay,
trust me. Just trust me.
Okay.
Just trust me.
Okay.
So, James Ellsworth also had his own hot take. Hashtag Pat McAfee entering the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis, where he played for the Colts, and getting eliminated by a masked man who comes out of nowhere, and that man takes off the mask, is revealed to be Corey Graves. What do you think?
That's crazy. I like it a lot. That would be a pretty wild set up that Mania match.
That's crazy.
Hey, we've had Lawler versus Cole in the past. Why can't we do Graves versus McAfee?
That's true. It'd be better, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did you see that Japan's top wrestling promotions all united to form United Japan Pro Wrestling? I believe NJPW. I think New Japan led this entire thing, and it's basically their company. Is what I'm saying. It's New Japan owns basically everything at this point, but now it's under one promotion.
That's really interesting to see that basically them more or less monopolize. That's basically what Vince did back in the day with the territories.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really interested to see how that goes for Japan. I always like Japan. I'm not a deep follower of it, but whenever it comes across my feed and whenever they come over to AEW, I'm a big fan of what they are able to do.
Speaking of AEW, Britt Baker may be done with AEW. Ooh. Tony Khan is reportedly fed up with her. Do you know anything about this?
I know some about this. I've also seen conflicting reports that say that it's absolutely nothing. So I don't know which way to follow, in all honesty. So there's like a lot of stuff that's been saying that Britt Baker is really hard to work with. She's very overprotective of her spot. She's just an all-around nightmare to work with. And these rumors have been coming out since the company started, all in all. And so, we'll see.
To kind of keep it within AEW, we got some Twitter beef between Dave Meltzer and Eric Bischoff.
Twitter beef.
Eric Bischoff tweeted out, if Tony was half as smart as Dave thinks he is, Tony would pay Dave Meltzer to keep AEW's name and business out of his mouth and out of his dirt sheet. He's killing him any chance, as remote as it may be, of the making of the AEW brand cool. Dave Meltzer's response was, one thing for sure, he's smart enough that he didn't hire you.
Eric Bischoff trying to comment on what he thinks is cool in 2025. Thank you, Eric. Didn't you have at least part hand in killing a company?
I think Bruce did more, in my opinion.
Yeah, he definitely didn't. It was more the creative, but I mean, he definitely had to have a part in it by giving Hogan all that control.
Yeah, for real. And so, I mean, that was basically it for the news and Twitter beef I had this week. We're ready to get right into Raw.
Hell yeah, Severn.
All right. So
Pretty
we got
excited.
Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk all coming out. We see a Penta promo video for his match against Pete Dunne. We see Rhea Ripley walking in. She gets ambushed by Nia. And I was thinking, before this was announced, Rhea versus Nia Saturday Night's main event.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Cole and Wade Barrett open the show. Still stupid as hell, in my opinion, to not have Corey Graves here. But Corey Graves on NXT Tuesday said, I am right where I want to be, where passion is everything, where only the hungry survive.
He definitely didn't get told to say something about like that.
I think something might be going on with where I have a prediction for the Royal Rumble when we do the pre-show. I think that you might like. But we also talked the attack on Rhea by Nia and the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's main event Jay Uso. You know, he's yeeting in the crowd. And a little Uso yeets with him as always. And Michael Cole starts yeeting during Jay's entrance. Wade Barrett's giving Michael Cole hell throughout this. Michael Cole, you know, they high-five each other during his entrance. He said, I said main event Jay Uso is now in yo city.
Yeah.
Yeet, yeet. This weekend.
Yeet.
Saturday night's main event. Yeet. I'm taking home the big one.
Yeet.
The new Gunther. And he comes out and he goes, you know, let me guess the next thing you're going to say is you're going to be World Heavyweight Champion. And Jay said, I was going to beat you for the title and I was going to hang it up in my room.
I was hanging up in my room.
Word. And Gunther goes, you really are a funny little man. Let's not act like it's not going to happen on Saturday. Last week you told me you bet on yourself, and Gunther believed Jay. He was looking forward to Saturday night's main event to square off against main event Jey Uso. Until today, he saw you walk out here acting like a complete dork, acting like the company mascot. At this point, it doesn't matter to me. I could just as well be challenged by Jimmy. And Jay goes, Gunther, say something. Gunther's like, say what? You never follow up with your word. Look at these people. They're naive enough to believe you'll win. I don't. Bet on yourself until when? Your cousin, Sammy, Jimmy, or Cody needs you? You always show up. That's just what makes you a useful idiot. Jay, your words and your actions do not align. Mine do. On Saturday, when the bell rings, I'm going to expose you for a flash in the pan, as that has no reason to be close to this World Heavyweight Championship. He leaves. And Jay goes, man, you right again. Everything that came out your mouth is true. I'm the mascot. And this right here is my team. This right here is my squad. Because they ride with me. Yeet. Slide with me. Yeet. And they're going to be with me on Saturday when I beat you for the World Heavyweight Championship, Oos. And told you I respected you, Oos. Gunther, you're going to put some respect on my name. There's only one of us at the main event for WrestleMania, and it ain't you. Gunther ends up attacking Jay. Gunther has control until Jay takes him out. And Jay's basically using everything he can against Gunther until Gunther gets sent out of the ring by the super kick. Jay's holding the World Heavyweight Championship. It gets a very loud pop, like a very good reaction. And Gunther gets back up on the apron. He drops down, though, and grabs his title, and Jay's lip is bleeding. What are we thinking, Ryan?
Man, Jey Uso needs that world title.
I do agree.
I swear to God.
But I'm going to hold to it. I think on Saturday he doesn't. He just doesn't win, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shot he takes that title off of Gunther. There's like a million other predictions that I have for like beating Gunther. I mean, dude, I don't even know if Gunther should walk into Mania as World Heavyweight Champion, honestly.
Who do you have walking in?
Potentially Roman, potentially Punk. It all depends on if he has a match at Chamber and who it's against.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Really, because you could do a flash, because like last week or the week before, I can't remember exactly when, he made that head of the table comment of like, all of you like fools fighting over who's going to be the head of the table, who's going to be the best in the world. I think that's him teasing that a Roman feud, a Punk feud is potentially on the horizon. And I see at Elimination Chamber one of those two challenging Gunther and one of those two beating him to walk into Chamber to fight the other one for the world title.
That'd be insane. That would be nuts.
Like either way, I feel like Roman and Punk is happening for the world heavyweight title at Mania, no matter who's champ.
That would be nuts. Oh, okay. So after this, though, we get the New Day walking backstage, and they walk into JBL. He goes, Kofi Mania, New Day. Kofi's like, yeah, you're the special guest commentator for a match against Ray. And Kofi and Xavier, they try to bribe JBL. It's like, hey, like, come on, help us out. And, he's like, you're right. You had to cut the dead weight to go on to the greatest success of your career. And JBL says he doesn't blame them for what they did to Big E because of how popular and better he was compared to them. But Kofi says JBL has gone soft.
Damn. I would like to see him at least clothesline one of them.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, JBL did close on somebody on Thursday on TNA.
Yeah, right? He did. Why didn't he do it on WWE?
I think it was Matt Cardona.
It was.
Yeah.
Why didn't he do it on WWE?
Oh, God. So, Kathy Kelly backstage with Bayley. Bayley has a match against Nia, but she also has an announcement. She's officially back on the Monday Night Raw roster, and she wants to declare herself for the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble. Bayley says she's going back-to-back. That's the plan. And she said she could take on Tiffany. She could take on Rhea. Nia says, though, she's going to take out Tiffy, and Bayley steps up to Nia after what she did to Rhea earlier on in the night. And so before we get to our first match of the night, we get to see two PBR Pro Bowl riders. Mason Taylor and Austin Richardson are there, and then we see PBR announcer Matt West there as well. And then as we get right into our match, we see special guest commentator JBL come out, and honestly, I thought this was very fitting that JBL's commenting on Ray's match because of what happened at WrestleMania 25 when JBL retired.
Right.
Or JBL, no, he quit. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He said, I quit. And so Xavier and Kofi come out. They say, turn off their music. They're not using that stuff no more. Xavier says, it's your boys, the New Day. And Kofi said, y'all starting to piss me off. New Day sucks chance to rain down. And Kofi goes, we are walking Hall of Famers, calling JBL a fraud. Kofi takes his money back. He said, give back my money. It's mine.
Damn.
I think it's robbery at this point. Xavier announces Ray getting the brakes beat off of him by Kofi because the New Day rocks. The New Day sucks chance takeover. And during the match, though, Kofi and Xavier start out with some switches. Kofi and Ray, my bad. Started with some switches. And we come back from commercial, though, with Kofi in control. But Kofi pokes Ray in the eyes later on, and Xavier trips up Ray, and Xavier ends up getting sent out. But Ray's able to hit the 619 on Kofi, but that didn't end the match. What ended the match was getting a sneaky pin for the win, which I kind of thought was bullshit.
Yeah, he should have just hit the finish after that.
But after the match, Xavier and Kofi attack Ray, and Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro come to Ray's aid, and New Day run through the crowd, but then they end up coming back and attack Joaquin Wilde, throwing him into the post. Dude, holy shit.
I'm a little bit upset with this somewhat, kind of am, because like the Wyatt Six are on fucking SmackDown now, and I think it would have just been the best feud ever if you could have just done the Wyatt Six going after the New Day after what they did to Big E.
That'd been
interesting. Yeah. That would have been it for me. That was legit. What I was like, okay, the New Day are going to spin their wheels until the Wyatt Six are finished with the Final Testament, and then we're going to do that feud.
I like that, yeah.
And then the Wyatt Six got moved, and now I don't really know what we're going to do with the New Day.
The New Day, I think we run something. I think we just run this angle. Hold on. I think we run this angle of they just keep coming out and keep saying no. We like why? There's no like reason for you guys to hate us. They just keep running this angle. They keep getting their asses keep being proven that they lose or that they're basically a bunch of losers for what they did to Big E. Which is why I think in my Rumble predictions, when we get there, you'll kind of understand why I picked Big E, because I think he's going to eliminate Xavier and Kofi. So
I like that spot where he just takes them both out. Let's go, Big E.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, you want to get big?
And then after this, we get a promo video of Penta El Cerro Miedo's debut, which I thought was pretty cool. And then we get Kathy Kelly backstage with American Made, and Chad is ripping American Made's ass, dude. I don't know for what. And Chad said he was inspiring the team. He said he had trouble with Penta, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio. And Chad went to Dominic Mysterio, out of all people, to help him with his luchador problem.
Yeah, right.
Dom. Just remember, Dominic. And
Well,
Ivy,
he did pin Ray earlier. Well, last year.
Ivy says that the IC women's title is going to be hers. And the Creed brothers say that they should have the tag titles and make the Warriors look bad. And Chad says that they're going to all be wrapped up in gold one day, and it will be glorious.
I wish, genuinely, that should happen. I agree with that. Have Ivy hold the women's singles title. Had Chad hold either one of the singles belts, world or intercontinental. I don't care which one. Chad would be a good champion for either one. And then Creed should hold the tag gold, at least for at least a short while.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
I like it. Then after this, we see Sami Zayn walking backstage, and then we get a throwback video for Wade Barrett, being on Raw, June 1st, 2010. Wade Barrett won the first season of NXT.
Maybe that's a hint.
Maybe that's a hint. He returns to the Rumble,
maybe? Seeing as our Rumble's coming up, who knows?
Because I'm afraid I got some bad news. And after this, so we get to Sami Zayn's promo video, and look, he's not going to beat around the bush. He spoke with Pierce. He's already officially in the Rumble. Last week, Rollins told him he needs to help himself. So what does Sami want? To open up a bunch of thoughts. He started thinking about his 14-year-old himself, like the millions of people who dream of becoming pro wrestlers, and a very small group that is very lucky to call them WWE superstars. The hardest one of them all is basically the upper echelon. He is one of them. The group of guys are all in the Rumble. Their only difference between his opponents and him, though, is that they all have a world championship to their name. Sami doesn't. Sami hasn't had a great career. He doesn't feel like he needs a world title, though. Sami still felt like he's got a good career, but he feels like he doesn't need a world title, because he says the fans support him through everything. But damn it, Sami wants it. 14-year-old Sami wants it, and he doesn't need the world championship, but he wants it. And Kevin Owens came out, and Sami's like, dude, I knew it was a matter of time before you came. And Kevin's confused. The whole world saw what Kevin did to Cody. And Kevin, he goes, I'll admit, when I saw you team with Roman, I was upset. That's not like when Cody teamed with Roman. Kevin looked at the situation. Sami and Roman have a lot of history. Sami and Kevin also have a lot of history. Kevin said it's not that he overlooked him. He forgave him, though. Sami's a good person. Seth is right. You do a lot for other people. You're my best friend. You're more like a brother. Because Kevin wholeheartedly believes that Sami will win the Royal Rumble because Sami deserves to win the Royal Rumble and good to go on to WrestleMania. What do we think after that comment?
I wish. That is my ultimate dream booking for this year's WrestleMania. Like, I think I said it last week in our episode, where you could genuinely have the heart-wrenching long-term storytelling that is Sami versus Kevin in the main event not even in the main event, just for the WWE title.
Right.
And then you can run Cody and John as your quote-unquote Hogan and Rock angle, as your once-in-a-lifetime of icon versus icon match. You have Punk versus Roman for the World Heavyweight title. And then, fill out your mid-card however you want to. Wade versus Drew, Seth versus, Seth. I was going to say Seth could be in, that Intercontinental Championship ladder match you and me have talked about once or twice.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, yeah, that's an idea we've pitched about because we like ladder matches at Mania. So Seth's always shown in those. No matter what, everyone can be in a huge star position this year. And these
WrestleMania could be so stacked if they did it right.
Yes.
I feel like WrestleMania 40 was a little subpar with some of their matches, but
Uso and Uso.
Uso would be the main one. But getting back into it, and he goes, then you know what? We can accomplish main eventing WrestleMania together in a world title match. Kevin holds up the Winged Eagle belt, and if it's when you win the Rumble, it's as long as Kevin walks out of the Rumble WWE champion. He's basically pinning this on Sami, and Kevin knows both of those things are going to happen. Kevin says he has Sami's back. Kevin knows he will walk out WWE champ because Sami has his back, right? And Kevin knows if he needs it, Sami will be there, right?
Oh, man.
What do we think?
This is very interesting because, dude, I really want Kevin to win that match. I just don't think it's going to freaking happen because it's Cody freaking Rhodes. He's Superman.
It's Cody Rhodes.
I'm not saying that as a bad thing.
Cody. Cody Rhodes.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, like when John Cena would win everything no matter what, but
You John freaking Cena.
yeah, that would be the ultimate dream match. Those two in a world title match, especially if you run the angle of like Sami Zayn has to help Kevin because he's so desperate to get the world title shot that he knows Kevin's going to help him in the Rumble. So he's like, I know that if I scratch your back, you're going to scratch my back, and then you scratching my back is going to get me what I want.
Basically, kind of what DIY is doing with Pretty Deadly.
Yeah. And then eventually you can see his ways out of it.
And
Or
so
something.
during commercial, though, Jackie Redmond was with Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and basically they said, "We're so excited to be here. I just had 4 espressos." This is Karrion talking, by the way. "I broke a bunch of baseball bats with my bare hands. Scarlett and I threw a guy down the stairs together. It was really romantic." Basically, also confirming, though, they did say that the Y6 is officially moved to SmackDown. And so backstage, though, getting ready or looking forward to Saturday night's main event. Sheamus is with Kathy Kelly, and why is that title so important? He says some say he's had a perfect start to his career by beating Cena in his first 6 months, and Sheamus has been so close so many times. The stars are aligned. Sheamus predicts his win at Saturday night's main event for Braun Breaker. Let's go Irish. Kind of, I think that was also a little throw into the Notre Dame and Ohio State college football championship game that night. The Notre Dame are the Fighting Irish. But Breaker walks in, and Breaker wants Sheamus to look at the championship. And he goes, "This is the closest you'll ever get to holding this title." Breaker says he's going to break Sheamus. Breaker also says Sheamus should retire, but Sheamus shoves him, and he walks away laughing.
Damn. That's going to be an awesome match. That's just going to be a freaking... Oh, it's going to be so good. I can't wait. Every time they are in the ring together, it's just a collision.
But Bayley and Nia both are walking towards the gorilla for their match. We come back from commercial. We get a Bob Uecker memorial. We get a replay of Nia attacking Rhea before Bayley's entrance. Roxanne Perez is ringside, which leads us right into Nia Jax versus Bayley. The match, Bayley starts out hot. Bayley's also able to get a suicide dive on Nia, but she goes over to Roxanne and slaps her. And we come back from commercial with Nia in control. Bayley sunset flips Nia onto the apron into the ring post, which is fucking insane. And then Bayley hits a sunset flip powerbomb off the top rope, and then Nia hits an annihilator for the win. And so after the match, though, Rhea comes out, and Rhea and Nia brawl in the ring, and Rhea and Nia get separated by security. Nia splashes into Rhea and her security, but then Rhea does the same after being separated, and Nia tries to get on top of the announce table to take out Rhea, but Rhea hits a dive to take out Nia and security. Rhea gets in the ring, though, with the mic. She goes, "You, me, Saturday night's main event." Basically, kind of, I guess, confirming my thought earlier in the night. I don't know about you. What you think about that?
Yeah. I definitely thought they needed to add at least one more thing on a Saturday night. They needed a women's title match of some way on there, and it didn't look like Tiffany was.
Yeah, Tiffany's not really got anything going on right now.
The Nia thing definitely came out of nowhere, but I mean they're definitely always a good pairing in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Nia Jax has definitely gotten a lot better.
She's gotten definitely a lot better
over these past few years, and Rhea's one of her best opponents, I think.
So we get a replay of last week of the Broken Arrow onto Balor into the street fight from Damian Priest. Basically, that was the end of the match. Judgment Day getting involved, War Raiders getting involved, Damian winning, and Judgment Day are in their locker room. Chad's in there to talk to Dominic, but Dom gives Chad a note with someone's name. Chad says he's going to learn Lucha Libre from this guy. Next week, Pierce is giving Judgment Day a tag title match. Dominic says he will replace Finn, and Liv says that Finn is going to love it because tag titles are going to be back, right? And Dom said, "I thought you weren't mad." Liv goes, "I'm not." And Dom says he's going to make it up to her, and Liv says he'll make it up to her. Liv's like, "Yeah, you're right. You will make it up to me." And Carlito looks over, and Raquel shoos him away. Carlito is so...
bro.
I love Carlito. He needs to get out of the Judgment Day, though,
but
honestly.
What is on that piece of paper? Who is Chad going to learn Lucha Libre from? I don't know. Neither do I. What the fuck? Who? Who in the hell are we going to put, as Chad's Lucha Sensei?
I don't know.
Because originally I thought, well, this would be if you wanted to introduce them as a light and a dark of each other, you could say Rey Fenix, I guess. Going against Penta, even though they're brothers.
Rey Fenix
he's
coming
not.
after WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's not coming right now. There's no shot at all. So
You would have them start out
What
hot
the
like that.
fuck?
You wouldn't have them come together. You wouldn't have them eventually debut as a team.
You could do either way. No matter how you do it, honestly.
You could run that angle as like Ray was like in jail.
You could like if there's any way we know that there's a history of brother and brother matches that have not been good.
Mm-hmm.
This is one that would be phenomenal.
So
this would break the streak.
We get a Lyra Valkyria promo video, basically the replay of the highlights of the women's finals for the WWE Women's IC Championship. Hypes yourself up after winning your match, and now that she has a championship, what comes next is building a legacy. We get a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day promo video. After this, though, but what do we think about Lyra?
I like Lyra. I'm excited to see her first official feud for that. I'm hoping it's not with Damage Control because she's kind of been looped together with them for a while.
I want it to be Dakota.
Oh no, I want it to be Becky.
Becky?
I want Becky to return at some point.
Yeah.
Hopefully Rumble, and we can run that either probably at Mania, if anything. Even though a lot of people have been saying Becky versus Rhea at Mania is a big thing that could happen.
That's true. We'll see. But like I said, it was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We got a promo video of that, basically just of all the significant things he did in his life before he had passed. And then we see Notre Dame hit the head coach at a press conference, and he's a big wrestling guy. He likes WWE. He went to, I think, a few WrestleManias back in the day, is what he was saying. And just kind of wanted to point that out. And Seth Rollins is backstage. Sammy walks in, though. Sammy says he appreciated the talk they had last week, and Rollins heard him out there. And he's almost rooting for that Sami Zayn. But push comes to shove, Rollins will throw out Sammy. Sammy's like, "Nah, if I throw you out first." And Sammy leaves. But we see Karrion Kross behind Seth. So, yeah, this is confirmed no feud with the Y6, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah. So he's going to be feuding with either Seth or Sammy. I see probably Sammy.
I see Sammy more than Seth, honestly.
Yeah.
But after this, though, we get Penta El Cerro Miedo versus Pete Dunne. And, the match, Dunne starts out hot, though. Penta is in control by hitting a sling blade. And then Penta hits the Mexican Destroyer on Pete Dunne, which is insane, dude.
I love that, dude. It's so cool.
Pete Dunne puts Penta in a triangle choke, and then Penta counters with the sacrifice. And then Penta hits the Penta driver on Dunne for the win.
I've got one little gripe about Penta right now, and it's the sacrifice. It's a sick move and everything. You're literally like breaking your opponent's arm. I just wish people would actually sell it more.
Yeah.
Like, I wish Chad Gable had been seen in like an arm sling this week when he's talking with like
Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy or Dom. And like that could have been the end of the match where he hits the sacrifice and then they have to call a no contest because his arm is fucking broken.
Yeah.
that would be a no contest or a DQ that I would buy, if anything.
So after this, though, we got Logan Paul promo video. He goes, "Man, it must suck to be a Logan Paul hater. When I do something, I become the best at it, and I become the king of the internet. The only man to beat Floyd Money Mayweather. And what makes you think the WWE will be any different, though? Look around, dummies. This is my life now. I will eat, sleep, and breathe wrestling until I become the best superstar in that ring. You're looking at the show."
Oh, no.
We learn his debut is next week.
Oh, no.
We get the War Raiders versus Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio for the tag titles. And Cody Rhodes will be at Monday Night Raw.
I just feel a cloud of impending doom showing up now. He's declaring for the Rumble, too, by the way. I feel like
he's going to be in the Rumble.
I feel like
that's going to be his appearance. He's going to declare.
Yeah.
Right? It's how they do it.
Dude, if he really is going to be a full-time member of the WWE roster, that'll be nuts.
I'm going to cry.
You're like what?
I'm going to crash out.
Like, what?
I'm gonna crash out. So after this, though, we see CM Punk coming through the concessions, through the crowd, walking over to Jackie Redmond in like a suite area, or like I don't know what you would call it. But CM Punk chants start overtaking Jackie as she's talking. Jackie goes, "Let's get to the questions. There's only so many ways you can get to the main event of WrestleMania." The card is stacked and starts listing out. She starts listing out the Royal Rumble entrance. But what makes this Royal Rumble different for CM Punk? CM Punk, he goes, history. He beat Seth on the Netflix debut. Punk will make history by throwing 29 other superstars over the top rope. The pressure is on, and no one can beat Punk when he's at his best. I can't see John Cena throwing me over. Roman needed my help at Survivor Series. I put McIntyre in the dirt. Sammy isn't on my level.
Ooh.
I'll kill Hulkamania.
Oh my God!
What?
Hogan's catching strays.
In Indianapolis, I'm going to call a favor if I need to. And one man, one name, 3 syllables, CM Punk. What do you think?
He's gonna kill Hulkamania.
Kill Hulkamania, but he said I'm going to call a favor if I need to.
Call a favor if I need to. Imagine this. The final 2 of the Royal Rumble is CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And CM Punk looks over at Paul Heyman and he says, "Hey, that favor, get him out." And Paul gets like, I don't know, he can scramble into the ring however he does it. You know, he's not very coordinated. But
Yeah.
he'll eventually make his way to the ring and like basically is like, "Roman, I kind of need you to get out." Roman's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he can like low blow Roman or some shit like that, like kick him in the dick or something. And that's Punk's turn.
That's how Punk goes to WrestleMania?
How Punk goes to WrestleMania, then you can determine if he's a heel or not based on that. Damn.
All right. I like that. Backstage, though, Drew McIntyre ready for his match. And then during commercial, we have a War Raiders backstage interview. And basically, I would assume asked about their match. And they go, we're going to return honor and prestige to this division. And we get Pure Fusion Control versus Damage Control. You know, basically, kind of in the match, Shayna Baszler starts out hot against Dakota Kai. And Zoe hits an insane missile drop on Dakota Kai, like right after.
That was crazy.
It was insane. But Io is able to get the hot tag and starts going crazy on Zoe Stark. Zoe and Shayna hit a double team move on Io, and Io hits the over the moonsault for the win. What do you think of this match?
I like it.
But announced.
Big wins for them. Big wins
yeah.
for Damage Control.
I don't see them going anywhere, though, unfortunately.
Nah, it's fucking Pure Fusion Collection or Collective, whatever the fucking.
Pure Fusion Collective?
Yeah, that.
That's what it is.
Control Collective. I don't fucking remember
Pure
anymore.
Fusion Control?
They're just calling them PFC on TV now. At this point. They've given up on the whole line name even.
But announced for Saturday night's main event, we got Shawn Michaels doing the contract signing, Women's World Championship, confirmed Nia Jax versus Rhea, Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship, and Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu on his Fatu shit. All of it for Saturday night's main event, and then we get a badass promo video for Drew versus Seth about the WrestleMania 40 rematch. Before I even get into this, what did you think? Why they call this WrestleMania 40 rematch? Like, do you think it was like a good? Because I was kind of like sitting there thinking, I was like, it's really. I mean, it is because it's both of them, but the world title's not on the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a WrestleMania rematch in the sense that it's the 2 people that competed. Which, yeah, I mean, it is. It's a rematch in that sense.
Yeah.
It's just not officially for the world title. It's not under the same stipulations, circumstances, and everything.
But I don't remember what Rollins' gear looked like at WrestleMania, but Drew was in his WrestleMania 40 gear.
I liked Seth. It was like all white and blue and stuff like that. It was pretty. Seth always has really good gear, in my opinion.
But the match, Drew and Seth, they start to trade chops. They start to trade chops to start out. And Rollins hits a couple of suicide dives on Drew, but Drew counters by throwing Rollins over the announce table. And we come back from commercial, though, with Drew in charge. And Rollins sends Drew's shoulder into the ring post twice, from post to post. And Rollins hits a superplex on Drew, but Drew immediately counters with the Michinoku driver. And both go for the finisher until Drew hits a spine buster. Seth hits his Falcon Arrow, though, and then locks in a crossface on Drew. But Drew goes for a clothesline, but Rollins counters with a jackknife cover. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. You got a sneaky one.
In my opinion, 2 bullshit pins this week.
Yes. I'm not a big fan of that.
So, but after the match, I get why they did it. After the match, though, Drew attacks Seth, and Rollins tries to fight back, but Drew hits a Claymore. Drew drags Rollins to the corner and puts his head against the ring post. But Sami Zayn comes to the aid of Rollins, and Sami sends Drew into the ring post. Drew headbutts Sami, but sends him into the barricade. And Drew gets back in the ring and starts yelling at Seth. When Sami goes to give the haluva kick to Drew, but catches Seth instead. He caught his friend.
Wow. That actually like set me reeling when he connected with that kick on Seth. I was like, oh no! Like Seth's gonna be pissed. When they get to Rumble. Well, shit, they got one more show between now and Rumble. You got that 27th show.
Yeah, that's true. They got the next one in Raw.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do Sami versus Seth on that show.
I wouldn't
You
be
know.
surprised either.
Because yeah, Seth's gonna want some revenge after this one.
So basically, though, that's all I got for Monday Night Raw. Honestly,
Oh yeah,
I think more of my stuff this week goes with your show.
Oh yeah, a show. Of course, it is the Go Home show for Saturday night's main event. We open the Blue Brand show with Joe Tessitore welcoming us all with shots of the following stars entering the building. Jacob, Fatu, and Tama Tonga, of course, looking like a bunch of killers. Tama Tonga has a match tonight with the following LA Knight, the megastar. Yeah. We also see our WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton, because it's Tiffy time all the time. Now we cut to Joe, who says that he currently has the opportunity to have a one-on-one interview with the undisputed WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. He says Cody then comes out, of course. He says Cody must feel proud of his family legacy, especially seeing how they are in Austin, the hometown of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And he asks Cody how he feels knowing his title is going to be taken away and lifted above the ring for him to fight for. Cody gives Sean his flowers then and says that he is perfect for the situation and has no problem handing his title over. And it's the reason for people to talk about their WrestleMania dreams. His title, that is, by the way. And he has what everyone is after. I thought he kind of like shitted on with the world heavyweight title there. He's like, everyone's after this belt, not the other one, But oh well. Joe brings up the aftermath of the previous Saturday night's event where Cody basically got his neck broken and wants to know what he thinks about Kevin Owens. Cody then asks the crowd what they think of Kevin Owens to a loud boo. He then says that, go ahead, go back there. Ask that locker room. And for that matter, any of the people in this business, any locker room back there, what they think of Kevin Owens. And you'll get a lot of mixed reactions. A lot of people judge a book on its cover, and they shouldn't, especially with Kevin Owens. He will subvert their expectations every time. Kevin is a genius in this ring and a generational talent, but the thing that hurts most is that 10 out of 10 times when given the choice, Kevin Owens takes the easy way out. But that's why a ladder match is so perfect. There is no excuse and no degree to screw it, or no referee, to screw it up. It's about who has enough grit to get to the top of the ladder, pull down the championship, and leave Lucas Oil Stadium as champion. Joe asks if he could give one message to Kevin Owens. What would it be? He gets the microphone and says, yeah, Kevin, maybe I smile and shake hands and appear as a good guy because maybe I am. But you cannot push my buttons, and I will not let something like a package pile driver slide. I defeated the modern day ring general. I defeated who is probably the greatest champion of our generation, Roman Reigns. Acknowledge him. He didn't say that. I added that, of course. ROTC. Before they all loved the American Nightmare, I was as mean as they come, and I might be the grandson of a plumber, but I am also the student of the Viper, Randy Orton. Arguably the most ruthless motherfucker in the game.
Good.
So, Kevin Owens, when we meet at Royal Rumble, good luck. What are we thinking? Cody's fired up.
I'm excited to see what happens. I want to know what's in this contract, this addendum that this Nick Aldis got. What is it?
Exactly.
So we'll see when we get there.
We've definitely been biting on the whole move the loser to Raw idea, because that could give Kevin, presumably Kevin's going to lose, even though I want Kevin to win that match. No matter what, I want him to win that match, and I want Cody to move to Raw, assuming that that's the addendum, and then that's an easy road to the John Cena feud. Or
I like that.
Literally anything. Roman is assumedly on Raw now at this point.
Yeah,
that's even an easy link if you wanted to potentially do a non-title with Roman.
I agree with that, honestly. So, I think with Kevin, though, the contract signing gets a little crazy. I I think we could see another attempted package pile driver, maybe on Cody. I mean, what do you think,
Yeah, either on Cody or on Sean.
Sean?
I want it on Sean.
Okay.
I want him to actually hit it on him too, because like Sean's the hometown hero in Austin, obviously. I feel as though you do that to Sean, it's
He's
gonna
from San Antonio. You're in San Antonio for my Saturday Night's main event. Look
yeah.
at that. Yeah, you said Austin.
Oh, I'm fucking dumb. Well, no matter what, Sean's from Texas.
Yeah.
Home state still. They all love him there. And so yeah, if he does that to him there, then I feel like he's just gonna get an ultimate like the most hate, if
Yeah.
anything. That'll be a really good way. And if anyone can do it to Sean safely, it'll be Kevin, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like Sean would be willing to do that.
Yeah, after his career and his injuries, I don't
Yeah,
think
no.
he would either.
I don't think he would either. But one can dream.
Honestly.
After this, though, we go to DIY backstage talking about their match later, and Pretty Deadly walks in asking them about the game plan. Johnny has a match later with Apollo Crews, and they won't be there at ringside for Pretty Deadly. And Pretty Deadly wants them to show a little bit more commitment to this partnership, but Ciampa just wants them to handle their business. He just keeps repeating that at them as they try to explain their case. But Johnny cheers them on and says that they can do it. Yes, boy!
Yes, boy.
They end up walking away, ditching Pretty Deadly, who seems a little bit pissed off, and Legado del Fantasma is behind them, and they stare off before they walk out of frame. Now, seeing as how we were just talking about Pretty Deadly, we're going to move right into our first match of the night. It is Motor City Machine Guns taking on Pretty Deadly in a tag match, presumably for the number one contender spot for the tag team titles. And we start this match off with the Guns and Pretty Deadly trading double team offense until Sabin is thrown into the ring post and the barricade. A flurry of kicks lets Sabin get the tag to Shelley, who switches the momentum up until Elton counters Skull and Bones and then is tossed to the corner, where Kit uses him to hit a gnarly facebuster, in my opinion. And after countering Spilled Milk, the Guns hit Skull and Bones for the win. Nice and simple. More on this later, of course, where we hear about a match get made official for the Royal Rumble. But now we're going to go backstage to Nick Aldis, who's in his office. And The Miz walks in, and he praises Joe Tessitore on his interview with Cody Rhodes earlier in the night, and then asks if he should host a Miz TV segment to get Kevin Owens' side of the story. But Nick tells Miz that he isn't here for a meeting. He is here because he has been moved to SmackDown in the transfer window. Miz looks around and smiles before he realizes that the Wyatts are here, and he freaks out and reveals that he had them moved to SmackDown in his panic, so they would be away from him. And then he's obviously like blaming Cross for all of this. And Nick walks up and thinks that the Miz needs to find some new friends, presumably before the Wyatts find him. All right, then we move to the absolute best hype video ever. This also played on, like, I'm pretty sure after the show or something like that. But the best hype video ever for Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu are made out like literal video game monsters. Tons of stats about the height and mass of both of them, everything that they've accomplished since coming to WWE. Jacob Fatu hasn't really done anything. And thank you, Triple H, for the knowledge that Fatu has a 20-inch neck and Braun wears a 16 quad E shoe. But this whole video is basically says that these are some big, meaty men and they're going to smack some man meat. We go then to Kevin Owens, who interrupts all of this while Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett are talking about the following match I just talked about. And Kevin Owens comes out. He's wearing a Sami Zayn with a heart on it. Sami Zayn shirt with a heart on it. Basically saying that he's his best friend. Teasing that WrestleMania feud, as always, that I'm really hoping happens. Kevin then asks Joe where his interview is at. If he has time to interview Cody, then why doesn't he have time for Kevin? He's actually starting to miss Michael Cole in all of this, but Michael Cole is too busy kissing Pat McAfee's ass to be here, just like everyone else is too busy kissing Cody Rhodes' ass, including The Rock, hell. He called out The Rock on all that. But Cody does nothing but use and manipulate his friends. But it's okay because at Royal Rumble, he will walk out as the WWE champion. That is Kevin Owens. He then looks around and we see Matthew McConaughey, of all people, in the front row. And he goes, "What are you looking at, McConaughey?" And at the Rumble, he is going to beat Cody just like Ohio State beat the Longhorns. And we hear, "Oh, so Big Jim interrupts everything." And Kevin is very confused and has no idea what is going on. He looks at Jimmy and he goes, "Bro, why are you even out here?" And he goes, "Bro, because you talk too damn much." He smacks Kevin Owens in the mouth, dropping him, and a brawl starts, ending with Kevin Owens running away.
That shit was badass.
Jimmy gets the microphone and he goes, "Bro, where you going, Kevin? Tonight, right now, let's make it official. Kevin Owens versus Big Jim. Hook 'em." Of course, saying that because they are in Texas. Called out the Longhorns earlier, just a couple moments ago. And of course, got Matthew McConaughey there.
Of course.
Didn't expect him to be showing up being in a wrestling feud right now.
Bro.
Now, we cut backstage to the Sparkly Secret Service agent herself. It's Piper Niven. She clears the way for the real First Lady of America to come through. And I'm booking it right now. WrestleMania match for the fucking First Lady spot of America. Melania versus Chelsea Green. Melania Trump.
Brother, what? You guys? No. Okay. Dude. Okay. That is crazy.
Winner gets their spot in the White House. But we all know that's the match we want to see. We see, though, an ungodly large belt buckle as the PBR champions team in Austin is there. I don't know a whole lot about that. I used to be really into bull riding, though. Like, fun fact, like when I was really young, used to be what I wanted to grow up and do. But kind of just faded out of that. That got replaced by wrestling, actually, funny enough. Mello, am I at the right spot? Yeah. Mello walks into Nick Aldis' office complaining that he wants a match with Jimmy. He was supposed to have one tonight. So why is he having a match with Kevin Owens all of a sudden? Like, what the hell? Who's jumping the line and all this shit? Nick wants Mello to be the first opponent, though, for his newest SmackDown signing. Because, I mean, what greater honor. He was his first signing during the draft. He wants him to fight his next signing now. Mello ain't falling for that, though. He's smart now. Just like last time, he was confronted with Strowman when he didn't know his opponent, when he met him in the ring. So he smartened up this time. He said that he's going to wait right here for the guy so he can see him face to face before he goes out in the ring and has a match with him. No, that's fine with all this. Go and wait for that. What were you thinking, though, when this was initially said? We find out, obviously, who it is, but who's your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts were, I'm pretty sure, earlier in the night with The Miz. Hear me out. Remember, he just had this talk with Aldis.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, he's here. But I wasn't here. I had to run to the restroom real quick. I'm sorry. Nick tells Miz that the Wyatts are here.
Yeah.
Now we know why the Wyatts were moved.
Yeah. The cross.
For Miz.
Mm-hmm.
So now Miz has to find someone else to have his back because the Final Testament, I think, are going to stay on Raw, to be honest. I think it would have been better with the Final Testament instead.
Yeah.
But I can see why they're running it with the Miz instead, in all reality.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's how I'm seeing it.
All right. I see what you're saying.
So that's what but with Mello's opponent, I thought it was going to be The Miz.
The Miz. I was honest, dude. I was jumping the gun. I honestly was thinking names like Drew McIntyre, like not Seth Rollins really, but like literally someone big, like a Sami Zayn, a Drew McIntyre, like a name like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we find out later on, obviously it was our former campeón. Also, I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Damon. He is a big name. He just wasn't one of the names that was in my head.
Yeah.
But now we move on to another match. It is Michin and B-Fab taking on Piper Niven and our U.S. champion, Chelsea Green. And B-Fab needs to be seriously working on getting a better theme song, in my opinion. and just and
I
all,
liked it.
bro. I did not. God, this whole team. God damn it. So Michin takes out Piper early before Green gets in there. Well, sorry, Green gets in there. I can't be shitting on Chelsea. Gets in there. Michin again starts twerking because we can't have good wrestling in this division, apparently, other than our champion.
That is crazy.
I don't care.
That's crazy.
Why are you twerking in a fucking match where you're trying to earn a championship opportunity? Like, dude, oh, God, I hate it. It's so dumb. I understand it. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, oh, God. Thank you, Piper, though, for distracting her. She wasn't able to finish her attack and all that. Long back attack, whatever the fuck. They mixed it up for a bit, and Chelsea has two Unpretty Hers lined up, but they are both countered, and Michin ends up hitting Chelsea with Eat Defeat for the win. And she gets a title match next week. We find out later on in the mat and later on in the night. Sorry, I can't talk sometimes.
Oh, that's good. No, that's interesting. I like that. So, I think the one that takes it off Chelsea though is Piper.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly,
I agree. There is a little bit of a segment that we'll get into more with those two later that kind of, in my opinion, teased a little bit of a breakup, somewhat. Maybe not as much as like some other stuff, but we'll get to it.
Right.
We then go to Nick and Mello backstage, and Mello's presumably just been talking shit this entire time. I like to think that since this last vignette, he's just been pacing back and forth, talking shit to Nick all this, and he's just like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But the newest SmackDown signing, Damian Priest, walks in, and Mello versus Priest is made official for later on in the night. I'm excited about that. Didn't know I needed to see that match before.
It was a good match.
And now we see Tiffy time. Pay attention to how this is all lined up here. Tiffy time is seen walking into the... Well, she's seen walking backstage, but she's going to the ring. We then cut to a Charlotte Flair vignette conveniently right afterwards, with her officially declaring for the 2025 Royal Rumble in a very specifically shaded pink dress, I'd like to think. She's got a smile on her face and a tear in her eye. She will remind everyone who owns the night. Woo! I'm pumped for Charlotte's return.
Me too, dude.
I'm so freaking pumped for it. I'm sad. Not sad. I'm freaking just... I got a mixed set of emotions that they announced it early on. Because It's also kind of what they did with Cody Rhodes last year.
Yeah.
You know? Wait, it wasn't last year? The year that he came back from his titty injury.
That was 2023, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. My bad. So, yeah, 2023. So the year he tore his titty, he announced that he was going to be there, and everyone's like, oh, cool. Would have been cool to see a surprise, but we get why.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to this in-ring segment, which is just crazy. We hear it's Tiffy time, and our women's champion comes out, and she has a microphone. She goes, once again, she is the center of everyone's attention. Next week, 30 women face off for a chance to face me at WrestleMania. Funny, because last week she beat last year's Rumble winner, Bayley. So she isn't worried in the slightest, because whoever wins next will be running on Tiffy time. We hear, this is my brutality! And Mommy, Rhea Ripley, the women's world champion on Raw, comes out. And it's so cool to see the champions face off. Not even in like a match sense, just to have like a promo off with each other.
Yeah.
Mommy realized that Tiffy is still a little bit new around here, but let's make it clear, she is women's world champion too. So champ to champ, she respects what she did to Nia, but it won't compare to what she does to her at Saturday night's main event. And that is going to be a fire match. I can't wait. They always have great chemistry, like we've talked about, I think.
Yeah.
Nia Jax and Candice LeRae then come out, interrupting the party. And Nia finds it rude that she's just out here catching strays for no reason. Nia says she will enter and win the Royal Rumble match. And I'm thinking, why isn't Candice? Why didn't Candice declare for it? She should have just grabbed that mic and been like, I'm doing it too. But no. Nia, says she'll win the Royal Rumble and tells a kid their mom sucks. Your mom sucks. Nia says that she will end Rhea's reign. Then she's going to win the Rumble and go after Tiffy. And that would make Nia undisputed women's champion. Please don't do it. Although, now, I'm kind of a person that would like it in some way. There's a way to do it in my opinion, but not right now. Bianca and Rhea are the two people to do it, in my opinion.
I agree.
If you want to do a unification match, but don't do it right now. Wait a couple of years if you want to do that, because Roman's title reign is still fresh in everyone's mind with that happening.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bianca, though, she comes out with Naomi, and they dance their way all their way to the ring. They both declare for the Royal Rumble, and this just goes to show, why didn't Candice declare for it? They both did it.
Honestly.
But both declare for the Rumble and say that no matter what, one of the two of them will win, and if it's not Bianca, it's going to be Naomi. And as they're saying this, Liv Morgan shows up with Raquel Rodriguez. Liv throws strays at both Rhea and Tiffy, saying that Tiffy is basically just a discount version of Liv Morgan.
I was like,
damn, that was a crazy. I would take that feud though.
Kaylee, she was like, don't disrespect Tiffy. Dude, don't do that.
Don't do that. I wouldn't be opposed moving Liv to SmackDown and running that title feud though.
I wouldn't be opposed to it either.
In between now and Mania, do that at like Chamber or something.
Yeah, because Tiffy wants a little dirty in her life, so
that's crazy, dude. That's what.
Even though her relationship with Kaiser would be known,
even though she's the breadwinner in that.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Poor Kaiser. Where am I at? She throws strays at Rhea. Yeah, she says that she is now entering the Women's Royal Rumble, and she's gonna win it all because of Raquel Rodriguez. And I'm like, presumably she declares on behalf of Raquel, or she's just going to help Rhea or Liv from the outside of the ring. I wouldn't be opposed to that angle either. Either one. I like Raquel being just her backup. She's kind of just running circles around the ring, though, talking smack to everyone. And as soon as she walks up to Rhea, she gets clocked with a headbutt. I found that amazing. A brawl erupts between almost everybody because Tiffany runs up the ramp and just starts watching it as Nick Aldis walks out, and you have it written here. It's Strapley time.
Rhea, it's Stratton and Ripley. I love this. I think a lot of this is going to become like a huge thing, but all of it's going to be on one brand at some point. Or we see a big thing at the Rumble with Bianca, Naomi, Nia, Liv, presumably Candice, and presumably Raquel. But I can see why people are saying Rhea and Tiffany need to be like a team.
That would be a sick team.
I could say it.
That'd be so cool. Like eventually they're both gonna have to not be in the women's world title division, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like eventually. So I'm so not against
the tag titles need to like
like
a reboost or something.
They are such a good odd couple pairing that you could have in that, because it's just two different opposites of the spectrum. You got Rhea absolutely brutalizing people, and then Tiffy's the acrobatic, like fluffy, like pink Barbie girl of it all.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Like, it's perfect pairing in my opinion. And now we go to our match that gets made official during the commercial break. It is Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Naomi taking on Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and Liv Morgan. We see Nia, as this match starts off, immediately run away from Rhea and tells Candice to do something until the tag champs also get in there. Liv pulls Bianca's hair, letting her get a blind tag to Nia, who uses her own braid to whip her. During a commercial break, Naomi is singled out in the opposing corner. Liv and Nia take out Rhea and Bianca from the apron, keeping Naomi from getting a tag. And X Factor, though, lets Naomi finally get to the corner and get the hot tag to Rhea against Liv. She gives Liv the riptide on top of Nia Jax, but after a distraction from Raquel and a KOD from the legal person Bianca, the other legal person, Liv Morgan, just grabs her and rolls her up for a sneaky pinfall win. And Bianca's face after this is just like, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? I think Liv needed a pinfall on someone, though, after that loss to Rhea. She needed something big, and a pinfall over Eaton. Not a lot of people pin Bianca, to be fair.
I do agree.
Mm-hmm. And there was something else I wanted to add on to this for some reason. It's jumped out of my brain for some reason. Had something to do with Bianca. I don't know, but yeah, I definitely forgot. It has something to do with Liv and Bianca potentially having a feud, I think is where I was trying to get to. Okay, where you could potentially run that, but you have to pull a lot of strings to get there. And I'm not really going to get to that right now. We're going to go now to Piper. This is what I talked about earlier with Piper and Chelsea. Piper is taking care of Chelsea backstage. Meechin and BFAB come into the room, and Meechin says that she has spoken to Aldis, and next week she gets one more crack at the U.S. title. Piper then thinks that they need a bigger security detail, but it was kind of like a little bit of a moment before this where Chelsea was, I didn't have it written down, sorry. Chelsea was kind of complaining to Piper about needing, like, you need to be there for me more when, like, they're beating on me or, like, whenever I'm getting the pin or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be there more for me is essentially what she's saying to Piper, even though Piper does most of the heavy lifting, I feel like.
She does.
So I like your idea that she takes the title off of her at some point. Johnny Gargano and Apollo Crews then have their match next, and as we kick it off, Apollo has power, and that gives him the early advantage with a suspension suplex, a gorilla press, and a standing moonsault. Then to Gargano follows that, and I always forget Apollo's a good wrestler. Like, he's never on TV.
He's just never presented well.
Yeah, he's never allowed to, like, do stuff, but he's genuinely really good. Ciampa drills him with a knee on the outside when the ref is distracted, and they almost get the win until Motor City Machine Guns walk out for a distraction, and Apollo gets a win. He rolls Johnny up and gets a win for the first time in ever because he's never on TV.
That's true.
But I would, if we're trying to build depth in this, and we have that third hour now.
Yeah.
Try to build Apollo up in that U.S. title division.
Honestly,
you know, like, Shinsuke ain't doing shit.
Shinsuke's not doing jack shit.
Like, come on
He's
now.
held the title for 2 months, hasn't done anything.
Yeah, literally. God damn. Fatu then is walking with Tama Tonga to the ring, and tomorrow night, oh yeah, this is a promo, I'm pretty sure, from Fatu. Tomorrow night, Braun Strowman, Monster versus Werewolf, Godzilla versus King Kong. Except it ain't, because hell, I'm both of them. They don't make them like me no more, Braun. They ain't never made one like me. I'm off the scale with no breaks. But first, LA Knight better look out, because tonight, Tonga, he's coming live and direct. And Tama comes in with everybody saying, yeah, 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 yeah. I like these two as a pairing. I'm not going to lie.
I do too.
These two are a really cool duo.
They could literally run the division.
They could. I don't know how it's going to fit when Tonga Loa comes back.
They're no longer called the Bloodline anymore.
They're not. They are not called the Bloodline anymore. And I don't want to see them called the Bloodline anymore.
I don't either.
I like that that chapter of WWE is done.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's over with the Netflix era beginning. The Bloodline era has ended. The Netflix era has begun.
Yes.
If you want to call it that. Cinema.
Villain and the yeah, that was pure cinema. Those 4 years was pure cinema.
God damn. All right. Our next match, of course, SmackDown was very match heavy, I feel like, this week, which I personally really like. It's a wrestling show. Should have a lot of wrestling on it. Tama Tonga with Jacob Fatu at ringside taking on LA Knight. In a promo from Knight before the match, he says, the man they call the megastar is here in Austin. So these cross-eyed halfwits, they got hell to pay. Yeah. After costing him his championship, though, it doesn't matter the ass whooping he takes. It's just about getting a piece of both of them. And tonight, he gets more than a piece because Tommy Tonga done pulled the short straw. So he's going to get a BFT for his trouble. And if Fatu wants it, he'll stomp his big fat head in too so hard that he can't stop doing the shakes. And he starts mocking Jacob Fatu's fucking shakes that he does. Sorry, Braun, there might not be any of Fatu left for him on Saturday. But first, he's got to stomp Tama Tonga into the dirt first. Yeah. Then this match starts proper with a slugfest and Knight catching a leapfrog with a slam. They fight outside the ring using the barricade until getting back in the ring for about 10 seconds. Sorry. Then Knight is driven face first into the steps on the other side of the ring on the outside again. Tonga keeps the momentum going by targeting the leg and drilling a DDT. Knight stops a suplex and a Fatu interference and gets an inverted suplex and a top rope yabo, followed by a BFT for the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Fatu then attacks Knight after the match and is about to put him through the announcer's table, which I would like to point out we haven't seen yet. No one has broken that announce table yet.
It's newly reinforced.
The newly reinforced announce table.
I think the two people to break it is Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu.
I would like that. But, like, the announce table breaking spot is one of the best spots, like, you can do. So It's so iconic. Like, I just really hope that it's not gone forever with that. I forgot where I was at. There it is. We hear after this, Braun! And one big SOB gets into the ring and wants Fatu right now. Jacob shoves Tama away when he tries to calm him down, and he gets into the ring, and we hear, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Strowman stops the Tama distraction and sends Fatu over the top rope. And before he can get back into the ring, Tama is stopping Jacob and saying, "You'll get him tomorrow. You'll get him tomorrow. Calm down. Calm down." Yeah. But then there's some Twitter stuff you wanted to talk about, I'm pretty sure, right?
So Braun Strowman tweeted out about Saturday night's main event against Jacob Fatu. He said, "This will feed generations. Beware that when fighting monsters, you yourself do not become a monster. For when you gaze long into the abyss gazes into you." Nikki Cross tweeted back in November, though, "And if you gaze long into the abyss gazes into you." And but I also do want to point out the Wyatt Six tweeted out John 13:7 over a picture of all of them in the ring. It says, "You do not realize what I'm doing, but later you'll understand." And I kind of think this is more like speaking into the fans and the negative reactions they've gotten ever since the switch to SmackDown, the sudden, like, abrupt ending of that feud with the Final Testament.
Yeah, I agree.
And I also think it plays into the Miz.
Unfortunately, I have to say I'm partly in that. I have 1 foot in, 1 foot out in terms of that. I want to see the Wyatt Six doing more.
Yeah.
But I am in the camp less is more, of course. But to an extent, I want to see them have a proper feud. You know, like now that they've moved to SmackDown and are more in the weeds, I guess. Like,
I agree.
Braun would be a perfect feud for him to do.
Yes.
Personally. Like, I would like that after this Fatu stuff is all over. But what do they do until then? Because presumably this is Braun being written off of. I mean, he's fighting Fatu right now, and he's going to be warring with the Bloodline.
You keep the Miz angle going.
Not the Bloodline, Tama and fucking. You could have Tonga Loa. What if he needs backup when Tonga Loa comes back? Because he's feuding with Fatu right now, and he's going to have the match at Saturday night's main event. And say motherfucker, Tonga. Yeah, boy. Tama Tonga gets involved.
Okay.
Maybe he helps Fatu win, and then Braun keeps coming back for revenge, and then Tonga Loa eventually can come back. And then the feud is Jacob and the Tongans versus the Wyatts. Or maybe something maybe like that. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fire take.
That's a really good one. I kind of like the idea of that. Damn, I don't know where to go off of this saying that. That was good. My brain clicked on that one. We move now to the Miz talking to A-Town Down Under. And he thinks that this could be an amazing team. He wants them to imagine it all. The money, the fame, the Marine 7. They all think they are about to become rich and run Friday Night SmackDown when Nick walks in and tells A-Town Down Under to pack up because they're moving to Raw. Miz is devastated, but they walk out giddy as fuck. Like, hey, yo, let us know about that Marine 7. Let us know.
That is funny as hell. I love that.
What could they potentially do on Raw, though? Not a whole, War Raiders.
Redo the tag division.
War Raiders could murk them.
War Raiders. Honestly, they switched them to tag division a little
bit. They need to spice that up. Judgment Day doesn't seem to be in it right now.
That's true.
I'm excited to see that. So now we'll move to.
That's true.
Once again, our United States champion who isn't doing shit, but filming vignettes apparently because it's Shinsuke Nakamura. He basically says that if anyone wants to challenge him for his title, they are screwed. He then declares himself for the Royal Rumble and talks about his past victory in the Rumble 2018, which was a really good one.
It was a good one.
It's too bad that it's just gone downhill from there.
Yeah.
Not his fault, Vince's fault mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, sorry. Then we move to a match. Yes, Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes, and Melo tries using his speed to get away, but Priest has the power to stop him, and he begins chopping and tossing him around. Melo uses the ring post to switch everything up on Priest, though, and he uses chops, but they do nothing but piss Priest off, who flattens him later with a broken arrow, and he got some air on that one.
Mm-hmm.
A stun dog in a first 48 is Melo's counter to the South of Heaven, though, before climbing up for nothing but net, and that move always misses. A huge lariat and a South of Heaven later then gives Priest the win. I think Melo needs a new finisher, is my takeaway from this, though. Nothing but net is just not doing it for him.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Priest on SmackDown, I'm excited to see what he can do, especially seeing the interaction he has later on with our champion for this show. Nick and DIY are then arguing backstage. Motor City Machine Guns then walk in, and they got something to say. And damn, was I excited about this. Even though they've done everything to duck them, all this has made it official. Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Royal Rumble, best 2 out of 3 falls
I'm
match.
so excited.
This is going to be nuts.
I'm excited for this shit.
Me too, man. Like, it's going to be fire. It is just going to be fire.
Let's do it.
But now, we get next Friday night in Indy, everything that we talk about. It is an 8-man tag match. Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garza versus DIY and Pretty Deadly. We get a United States Women's Championship match, Michin versus Chelsea Green. Naomi is taking on Liv Morgan, which maybe kind of solidifies Liv Morgan's moving to SmackDown? Question mark? Maybe?
I wouldn't push it that far just yet. Because I think they're going to still try to tie her in with Dominic, and Dominic still tied in with Judgment Day.
That's fair. Then, what's the last one? Jimmy Uso versus Carmelo Hayes. We get a shot of KO taping his wrists, then Damian Priest walking backstage, and he runs into Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Cody then shakes his hand and says that he's happy to see him here, and he's excited to see what happens now that he's on SmackDown. He walks away, and Priest smiles, and he says, "See you soon, champ."
Excited for this.
My thought after this is Elimination Chamber match, maybe? Maybe this is Cody's challenger at Chamber if Priest isn't in the Chamber match itself.
I like it, honestly. I actually really do like that.
That's the idea that I had just off of seeing this. Then, yeah, a rundown for Saturday night's main event takes place. Of course, we all know what's happening there. Check out the Saturday night's main event pre-show that we got up soon. And then we get a weird segment, I'll admit it, really weird one, of The Miz talking to Andrade. And Miz thinks Andrade is a phenomenal wrestler, but he needs some guidance. But I agree with the phenomenal wrestler part.
Mm-hmm.
Andrade says that he likes the idea, but he needs to go find someone first. Miz is confused, but Jimmy walks in. He goes, "No yeet.
No yeet."
Before I get into this, though, Andrade says that he needs to find someone first. I'm confused on if this is a legitimate angle or if he's just getting away from Miz.
He's dodging him.
That was my thought. It's like I'm confused. Now we got Chad Gable trying to find someone on Raw, and then Andrade. Yeah, I think it's just him trying to duck Miz, not trying to read too much into it. But of course, Miz is confused. Jimmy walks in. No yeet.
No yeet.
Melo says that he's going to need more than 3 moves out there to beat Kevin Owens. And Jimmy says that next week he'll only need 3 moves to beat Melo. No yeet again.
No yeet.
Melo follows Jimmy through Gorilla out the entranceway, and he jumps Jimmy during his entrance, and they fight on the ramp for a couple of seconds until security separates them. Small angle, but I genuinely really liked this. It's not something that they really ever do.
Mm-hmm.
Like it pushes, maybe this is actual beef, even though it's clearly a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just a good way to push heat onto Melo.
I agree.
At the end of the day, because in all opinion, I'm pretty sure I predicted Melo having a world title by the end of not world title, U.S. title or something like that
Mm-hmm.
by early this year or end of last. So I'm hoping he can eventually get into that spot again. But now we move into the main event of Friday Night SmackDown. It is Jimmy Uso taking on Kevin Owens. And this lunatic Kevin Owens, dude, I love him. His storytelling with these shirts is so good because he just comes out in a Naomi shirt. Naomi Feel the Glow shirt, and you don't even need any more context.
Nope.
And there's a note right there. Yeah, I just cannot tell me he's a great storyteller based purely on his shirts. Dude, I love it. Jimmy is steaming, and Kevin pretends to high-five some kids, but fakes them all out. Right away, Kevin Owens bails to go talk shit to Joe Tessitore again, because he's just got it out for the guy, apparently. Kevin yells that California is a nice state to a Texas crowd of all places. Jimmy is whipped and sends pieces into the ring post, and Kevin flexes there. He goes, "Look how strong I am. That's real power right there." Jimmy has a bit of momentum until he eats the table and a splash to the floor from the apron. He yells, "Feel the glow!" to the camera after this. Like, dude's so good sometimes. Kevin targets the arm of Big Jim and counters Jimmy's superplex with a swanton into the knees, followed immediately by a hip attack from Uso. He hits another hip attack, followed by a perfect super kick, but Kevin won't stay down. The Kevin I have written there won't stay down and hits a blue thunder bomb of all moves. A blue thunder bomb.
That's interesting.
Of course, it doesn't get the win because it fucking sucks.
Yeah,
but
doesn't do anything.
Shout out to Sami Zayn, though. I'd like to think there. A stunner is then countered by a super kick. Then a super kick is countered by a super kick. Then a splash is countered by a super kick. Then a pop-up powerbomb is countered by a super kick.
Basically, yeah.
That's kind of how it went. Kevin drags Jimmy off the top rope when he's going for a splash. It's by his bad arm, though. He drives him into the post twice. Again, the bad arm. Hits a pop-up powerbomb for the win. He then strips the announcer's table and sets Jimmy up for the package pile driver on there. And I would like to see at least one more person get hit with that. That wasn't Cody. Just to have Cody be like someone else got hurt in all of this, but it didn't happen, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe Saturday night's main event with Shawn.
Maybe.
Save it for a big angle. Cody Rhodes makes the save, though, and they start brawling in the ring. Show goes off air with them brawling. Again, pretty sure this is how the show's ended the past 3 times.
This is insane. I'm excited for this shit.
I am pumped, though. This ladder match is going to be wild. Saturday night's main event is going to be a great show. I can't wait.
Is.
But Royal Rumble is the official start of WrestleMania season, the road to Mania itself. Man,
let's do it.
I'm freaking excited, just all in all. I ain't got too much else to add to this. Do you, though?
No, I do not.
All right.
Honestly.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, be on the lookout for Saturday night main event shows, pre- and post-show. Be on the lookout for Royal Rumble predictions show. Be on the lookout for Royal Rumble post-show as well. We're also going to be coming at you with Elimination Chamber stuff. We're going to have a dedicated episode specifically for dedicating WrestleMania matches at some point after Elimination Chamber when we have a little bit more of an idea of how the card's shaping out.
Yeah.
So just be on the lookout for all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go to our socials as well. Twitter is ARWrestling_. Instagram is AR_wrestling_. Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, everywhere. AR Wrestling Podcast. Go to YouTube, AR Wrestling 1020. Go to Twitch, which we have now. We're going to be going live on that hopefully during season 2 at some point. We're going to be getting that going. Fingers crossed. Twitch.tv/AR_wrestling. And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we are ready for the Royal Rumble. It's an exciting time of year.
Let's go.
Let's go.
WrestleMania season's coming. It's my favorite season. When people ask me which favorite season, it's not summer, it's not fall, it's not spring, it's not winter. It's WrestleMania season.
WrestleMania season. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.